Yeah. Hey, everybody. My name is E-Double. Their name is PJ Harvey. Let's go. Mama told me. Yeah. Black paisley. Mama told me. Yeah. Come on. Mama told me. One day I'ma grow up big and I'ma be a king. And my papa told me it's okay to sit where shit hurts. Don't forget your dreams, cause they'll get you through this so-called life they call living, but I call it strange. And I bet I'll do it, cause I'm on my way. Strong enough to have shit.
It's over.
That's it,
It's a wrap.
finally. Yes. It's actually,
like losing-
yeah.
It's almost like losing your virginity for the second time.
Thankfully, I didn't wait for this show to start drinking again, because it would have been dry January plus half of February.
You know the running joke that January is like 42 days long.
Yeah,
Something like
January.
that.
Yeah, today's January 37th.
Yeah. And how many months old are you?
400.
400 months.
Yeah. I had to give
Well,
my
this
update.
is-
My little nephew, he's six months old, so he got his stats updated. I had to get my 400-month update.
Well, he's not you like that's. I feel like up to 11 months, the month thing's appropriate. After that, you're
Yeah.
one.
I would just say 0 right now. So how old is he? He's 0.
Newborn.
He is 0. I mean, he's 0 years old.
Yeah, but he's not.
I think everyone should do.
But he
months.
is 6 months old. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but he's 0 years. Half a year. He's half.
Well, this is the Beers and Beers podcast. I'm Gary.
Soon to be renamed. I'm David.
Yes,
by the way.
we're going to get into that. It's been a trip, been fun. We're doing this live, but I don't know how. Like,
I noticed you used to put our episode titles. It would always be like a joke in the title, and then now that we're streaming live to the whole world, you put the real title name.
Listen, I just had this conversation, and I briefly discussed with you today. I want to take this serious. I saw.
Why?
I want to surpass Mr. Beast. All right.
Okay.
Is that possible? Probably not.
My little brother would be so impressed.
Well,
Yeah.
he said something that me and Abby talked about this. And the same applies to you and I. Like, I love doing this podcast. I love reaching as many people as possible. Do I promote it to reach as many people as possible? Negative. That's
the boring part. This is the fun part where we just
like the
sit
fun
here and
part's
talk.
where you hit record and you just start talking, and then you upload it and it's in the ether. And if people listen or not, Mr. B said the best thing about podcasts is it's unlimited content. You take an hour-long podcast, which ours generally are. You chop it up into 5 different little segments. You know, you put those out on social media. You put the whole thing out on YouTube, which we're doing, and then you put it out on the audio platforms. Then, like, it's a force multiplier for all those different platforms to draw in eyeballs and views and whatnot. So
We've actually done the things where, I mean, we've done the audio clips and things like that, and that's been
not consistently.
Yeah, but when we've done it, it's actually done well, and it's like,
Oh,
we
yeah.
should do that again, and then we're like, then 6 months later, we do another one.
And then I was talking to our host today. 'Cause I was just curious about a couple of things. They had this chat now feature, so I just hit chat. If you don't know, we're hosted by Acast. It's like Mark Maron, a ton of
Shout out to
it's
Acast.
It's a big platform.
Yeah,
Which we got in early, and just the features that it has
recruited
attracted
us, yeah.
a lot of bigger podcasters. And so but nice dude named Kent. Shout out Kent at Acast.
Yeah.
He could have been in India. I don't know.
See a listener. We'll know if we have if we have
Yeah.
new downloads in India. Did you
Yeah.
tell? Does he know? Like, is it just a general like help, or is it like he knows the specific podcast? Like, he might know.
He did not know. This was just
just a
questions
general
about
help.
the platform for people that may not understand how to upload or distribute or all that. Anyway, I was like,
stuff
hey,
like that. How to reset your password, which I dealt with today.
We've been here almost a year, which is like is the same amount of time that it's been
Really?
around. March. We started in March.
Okay, I remember. Yeah, you started your other podcast on it, and then we switched over.
Yeah, and I was like,
very shortly.
what's up on some cash,
Okay.
basically, in a very professional way. And he was really detailed about what the potentials could be, how it works with what we're doing right now. Kind of gave me a goal, and then talked about distribution, using different platforms to bring people in. I'm soaking it up like a sponge. But you realize, oh my God,
It's a lot of
it's
work.
like a job.
Yeah, it is.
And it may be like 2 hours extra a week. Granted, that's other than recording 1 hour and 52 minutes longer than I spend on it anyway. And maybe that's the problem. And maybe this is what
Yeah.
you and I need to, have a little production meeting, get a content schedule out. Who's to say?
I need to
Who's to say?
have
But it's
a
our
week.
show
Yeah.
and we do what we want.
I need to have a week like I had last week because I switched jobs and I'm winding down.
Today's your first day
Last
of
week,
your new
today's my
job.
first day, new job. And so last week I didn't have that much to do. And I'm like, I got all my website updated. I did some stuff for the podcast. Like I had so much extra time. And now new job, I'm like, not gonna have that time. So yeah.
But you do have it. I guess we always have time. It's just what we choose to do
It's
with
what
it.
yeah, it's what you make of your time. I always joke with my wife who likes to read. I say that she uses her TV time to read. Like that's your that's your TV
She
time.
doesn't get TV time and read time.
I mean, she can do both, but I always joke with it. Like I'll be watching TV and she starts reading. I'm like, hey, can you turn that down? Jeopardy's on. Turn that book. Turn that book is blinding in your e-reader.
Does she read it out loud to you?
Yeah, that way we get double. We both get points,
Yeah.
reading points.
One of the
I
fun things,
already read eight books this year, Gary.
because you weren't drinking, you had so much free time,
I know.
so much time for activities.
Yeah, it's all downhill from here after January. No,
What did you think about as the new month? We ring in a new month, and you've abstained.
hmm
Was there, like, you wake up the next day, you're like, hey, I'm just going to drink a beer because I miss it? What's the did you first of all, did you miss alcohol?
No.
Okay.
For me, I think the hardest part is everything that goes along with it. So
Like the social part?
the social part of it, the like finding out stuff to do. Like I don't have kids and football's not on
You
now.
don't
And
want to
it's
be the
like,
lame sober dude.
yeah, I mean, I guess I could DD everyone and be like,
I
I had
That
fun.
could
I
be
went to a football
profitable.
game.
That could
Yeah,
be profitable.
I'm gonna be an Uber driver. No, but like finding things to do especially with my wife, like on the weekends. The weekdays are easy because work, Jeopardy, and then bed. Work, dinner, Jeopardy, bed, and then it's the weekends where you don't have a
You're
lot to do, and
70
it's
years
like,
old,
well,
bro.
normally we go to a brewery, we might get dinner, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, but that was the part that I think I missed, but I didn't miss the actual alcohol, and I've decided to continue because I'm running a marathon in May. Gary, you're gonna come up and cheer me on.
Mm-hmm.
Starts at 6:30 in the morning, so you got to be up bright and early on a
I'll just
Sunday.
come spend the night with you.
Yeah, you can drive me to the start line, and then drive the whole course. You can be like like the like my Mickey and Rocky.
Yeah.
Just drive around. Anyway, so I've decided to continue to significantly cut back at least through then. But yeah, anyway, all that to say, I'm drinking tonight on the show, and it is a Monday, so yeah. But the only time I'll drink during the week is during the show, and then not gonna drink on Fridays because I do my long runs on Saturdays, and then I'll probably drink on Saturday, and that's about it. But
That's a good
yeah,
schedule. That's a good, I mean, when you know, like when it's planned and it doesn't get out of control.
yeah.
I don't know. It's always been very irregular for me when I drink anyway.
Right. Yeah, you're not like
So,
a person that, I mean,
no,
yeah, you don't drink all the time.
I should.
You should drink more.
Should drink more.
This weekend, Gary, is the big drinking holiday,
It's coming up, bro.
the big game,
It's upon us.
and I have zero interest. I mean, I'll watch it because it's a Super Bowl, but it would have been so much fun if the Bengals would have been in. And I feel like the game is like not. I mean, this is the game that the NFL wanted, right? But the hype just doesn't seem to be there. Like I think that there was 2 days of hype about the Kelsey brothers facing off, and then it's like, what other storylines are there? Like who? I mean,
you've got the first matchup between two black quarterbacks, which is pretty cool.
yeah, that is cool. You get Patrick Mahomes is going to lose his second Super Bowl already in 5 years.
But he's already like he's won one,
Yeah, and then you got decimated by the Bucks.
right?
My prediction, because I'm good at predictions, Gary. Eagles in a blowout. And blowout meaning like 24. I'm gonna say 24-8.
I'm going 38-14.
I think that it'll be
38-14.
Chiefs won't score in the first half. I think it'll be 14-0 at halftime. And then you'll see it'll be 21 to then probably be 17-0. And then the Chiefs will score a touchdown and go for 2 and get it. And then the Eagles will score another touchdown. 24-8. Mark it down.
Okay, so I say 38-14. You say
24-8. You better get those 4s and 8s in your squares, your football squares, Gary.
I don't even know what that means.
You never play the football squares where you like put your name? It's like 100 squares, and you put your name down, and then they draw like it doesn't have the numbers on it, but then once the board is full, then they draw the numbers like it's 1 vertical, 1 horizontal, 0 through 9, and whatever the last number of each team. So like if you have like Chiefs, or if it's like 7-7 at the end of
Like
first
prop
quarter.
bet type deal?
Yeah, it's like at the end of each quarter it pays out usually. So if it's like 7-7 at the end of the first quarter, whoever has like that the 7 and 7, like where those squares meet, that person wins first quarter. And you do it for all 4 quarters.
I like it.
You never played football squares?
Never heard of it.
It must not be a Kentucky thing.
I mean, you got to think during Super Bowl time is right in peak basketball season.
Yeah, not this year in Kentucky.
I mean, it's
or
still
in
peak
Ohio.
basketball season, but
Calipari.
I did an experiment last weekend where I finally got to use ChatGPT.
Yes.
And so I'm just asking it to do things, just see how it does. I asked it to make a description for the podcast I do with my wife, and it nailed it. So I said, I
didn't read that one. Did you read it on your episode?
No, I put a
That's
disclaimer.
the description.
It's the description now.
You should have read it on the thing. Because ours is too, but it's like.
Yeah, but it gave us a name. It actually gave us a name.
Yeah, and so.
Because I just said, I think it's because the way I ask it. I said, describe a podcast. Gave it the parameters, and it came up with this. This is straight from AI.
Wait, so you didn't say describe the Beers and Beards podcast? You just said
I just said describe. I said describe a podcast. So it named it.
Okay.
So from here on out, we're the Pour Squad. It says the Pour Squad. Son of a bitch. The Pour Squad is a weekly podcast where two friends with contrasting personalities come together to taste and review the latest in craft beer and bourbon. The duo, who bond over their mutual love of drinks and sports, share their thoughts and experiences with each episode's featured beverage, bringing humor, insight, and a dash of friendly competition to the table. Join them as they explore new brews and sips and catch a glimpse in their unique perspectives of the world of alcoholic beverages. Whether you're a seasoned drink connoisseur or just starting to dip your toes in the craft scene, the Pour Squad is the perfect listen for anyone looking for a good drink and a good laugh.
That's it. That's us.
That's solid, bro. I mean, we just need to wrap that up.
But I still don't know
a T-shirt.
The Pour Squad.
That's a good name too, though.
Yeah. Let's change. I'll get a T-shirt. The Pour Squad.
With just that whole
we'll sell it
description
on
on the
our
back of it.
website. Yeah. So what I want to know, like, what all you put in there for it to.
Hold on, I think it saves it. Chat. Apple Watch is yelling at me because the battery's about to die.
Because how does it know about, like, we talk about sports, we talk about.
I mean, I told it that.
Oh, okay.
Let's see here. I think I did with Google.
Looking for a good drink and a good laugh.
Looking for a good drink and a good laugh, baby. Oh, yep, it saved it here.
Okay.
I write a description about a podcast that focuses on tasting a new craft beer and bourbon weekly that's hosted by friends who are different but bond over drinks and sports.
Oh, okay.
So what I wrote for Close Enough was write a podcast description for a show hosted by a married couple with a 14-year-old daughter and a 5-year-old son. They discuss parenting, marriage, and are funny. Here's its description.
She is funny.
Join us,
And
a
also
married couple
Gary.
with a teenage daughter and a young son, as we navigate the ups and downs of parenthood and marriage. Laugh along with us as we share our personal stories, offer tips and advice, and dive into the challenges and joys of raising a family. From the school run to date night, we cover it all in this lighthearted and humorous take on modern family life. Bro.
Nice. Modern family life.
ChatGPT taking
That's
over.
you guys are a modern family.
I'm Al Bundy.
Yeah, well, it's like the what's that show with
Modern Family.
Yeah.
That's what it's called.
I was trying to
Modern
think of the
Family.
guy that was in it. That
Yeah.
He's from Ohio. Ed, not Ed. What's his name? He's Al Bundy he is Al
Yeah.
Bundy. What's his real name?
Ed O'Neill.
Ed O'Neill, yeah. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I guarantee you we've talked about this before. I'm having like really crazy deja vu right now about talking about Ed O'Neill being a black belt in jiu-jitsu.
I don't know. I knew that, but I don't think I've ever said that out loud.
Shout out to Ed O'Neill. We'll get him
Shout
on
out
the
to
show.
Ed. Yeah. Let's
You
get
think he
Ed
would
on
come on
here.
the show? Who do you think is the most famous person
that we could
that
get
we
right
could
now?
get on the show?
Free, or we have to pay for it?
No, not paying. Not using Cameo. We could it would probably be a fighter.
Probably Cody
Like we could
Garbrandt.
get Cody Garbrandt, former UFC champion.
Yeah.
He's pretty famous. He just got a new
Maybe Hulk Hogan.
pre-roll sponsor. We could get Hulk Hogan, I bet.
Yeah.
We could probably get. Yeah.
I'm so far removed from
Randy
the
Couture.
soliciting guests. Like I used to have just like a very generic pitch, like, hey, come talk to me, give me 10, 15 minutes, whatever.
We can get Mark Coleman.
And I rarely ever got told no.
Speaking of
A lot of
Randy
times
Couture and Mark Coleman, did you see Fedor's last fight?
No, he lost though, right?
No, well, so Bellator 2, I don't even know what number it was, 290. It was on CBS. Fought Ryan
Right.
Bader.
It was no Elite XC. I'll tell you that much.
Fedor had his last fight ever. Fedor Emelianenko. If you're an MMA fan, you've probably heard that name before. And they had all these legends there, and it's like, UFC champion, Pride champion. And someone posted, it's all these like people lined up, and it's like, and Chael Sonnen, who didn't win jack shit. He didn't even win.
He wasn't on the card, was he?
No, he wasn't on the
that's
card,
who
but
he
they had like all these. No, they had all these like legends there to like.
See him off
to support Fedor into retirement. Mark
That's
Coleman was
funny.
there. Mark Coleman, Randy Couture.
Mark
Dan
Coleman would show up.
Henderson.
I mean, he would show up to our barbecue.
Yeah, he's good friends with your guy over in Indiana.
Mark Slater?
Yeah, he's not a fan of me.
I mean, to be fair, I'm not a fan of you.
That was, yeah. It's funny because like that made me think about like how people can have that you like, because I know him and I've met him like a couple times, right? And
Right.
I've never been to one of his shows, but this person has this view of you that's totally like throws you like off guard, and you're like,
dude, I've
what?
said the same thing about you before we became friends.
Really?
Like, fuck David.
No, not that. Like he said a specific thing about me, which we can't really. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it. We're on an NDA. We can't say it. At least you are.
Whatever. Listen.
But yeah, he called me a shill or
Sell out.
Nut hugger.
Nut
For
hugger,
a
yeah.
company that
Nut
I'm
hugger.
not.
That's a great term too. I love
For a
nut
company
hugger.
that I'm like, what?
That you
I
never even had any affiliation with
other than like,
by proxy.
yes, by proxy. You by proxy.
Did, as semi-public people, like with our content on the internet, does what other people think about you bother you?
No, but it doesn't bother me, but sometimes I'm just like, it makes you like think about like, because you think that you put out this this persona or this image or whatever, and then like people that maybe like don't have a lot of connection with you think like one specific thing about you, right? Like,
Right.
or they might think about like you had that experience before too, where someone said that you you cursed too much and they didn't want to
And
listen to your
listen,
show.
they weren't wrong.
You've toned it down, yeah. Now that we're a PG podcast, the Poor
I
Squad.
noticed recording with my wife that she cusses more than I do.
Does she?
Yeah.
I have to listen. Does she cuss
We
when
need
she
everybody to
drinks?
listen.
She seems. I haven't been around
Oh
Abby.
yeah.
I think the only time I've really been around Abby when she was drinking was when we went to Nashville, and she was like, I think she was just happy to not have your kids.
That's what happens. That's what happens,
Like
when
you
you get
both,
away.
I could tell you both did not want to go home. You were like, let's stay, let's get
3 more
breakfast
nights.
and brunch. Let's stop at the gas station.
Yeah.
Uh,
Listen, that's what kids are a blessing and a curse.
yeah. My new
More
boss, like he has young kids, and every time I talk to him, the first time I talked to him, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to keep you too long because I can hear your kids screaming in the background." He's like, "Oh, that's every day at my house." I'm
yeah,
like,
that's
"Oh,
normal. That's the new normal.
well,
Is that? Can we say that the new
yeah,
normal?
new normal." If you have kids,
Um,
I don't know if I can deal with that.
as we get back to normal, shout out to the bearded metal chef on winning our rivalry brews giveaway. He got the bonus
Yes,
using code Wet February,
and
which
that's the code that's the winning ticket that he had. It tells you
yeah.
it tells you if it's from a bonus entry when you do it, and
Oh yeah.
it was a bonus entry.
Shout out to
He's
bearded
down in
chef,
Florida.
bearded metal chef, and shout out to rivalry brews for hanging in there with
Yeah.
David.
They've been
He
good.
wasn't
They sent
drinking,
me a new box. It came on February 1st. I was
and
ready.
it was gone on February 1st.
No, I don't think I think I had one beer on the first just to celebrate the end of dry January, but I toned it down.
David, I'm gonna get
And
into a little drink here. I'm gonna steal your thunder, even this will be your first alcoholic drink since December on the show. But
yes.
in my at first, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna rehash some old ones because there's nothing really new that gets me. And I saw this on a couple lists. Then I saw it in the wild. I was like, okay, Penelope Bourbon. It's a New Jersey bourbon. The company's in New Jersey. It's an
Yeah.
MGP sourced bourbon, so it's gonna be good, right? Or it's not gonna be bad. MGP knows what they do.
Right. You've had a
Um,
few bourbons from them,
yeah,
I think.
Bullet's MGP,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, named after the founder's recently born daughter, which is Penelope. Penelope Bourbon is a signature 4-grain straight bourbon whiskey, uniquely blended from 3 bourbon mash bills. I have not had great experience with the blended whiskeys. We'll see how this is. Each barrel is hand selected and blended into a single batch for your enjoyment. Remarkably smooth and flavorful, Penelope is perfect whether you're sipping neat or using in your favorite cocktail. And it's won some awards.
Wait, no, so
It got
this is a straight bourbon, right? It's not a blended whiskey, right?
no, it's blended from different barrels.
Oh, okay, I got you.
So if you're watching
3
here,
different mash bills.
yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
it is the 4 grains you may ask is corn, rye, wheat, malted barley. This was $40. It's 80 proof, which is right up my alley. Let's get this little pop on it.
Yeah. I think MGP does it right because it's interesting because they can basically make whatever you want, right? So they have these, these mash bills and they can say, "Hey, you want 50% of mash bill number 1, 25% of mash bill number 2, and 25 of 3." There you go. There's your custom bourbon.
Yeah.
And then all you have to do is go and then and it really kind of at that point turns more into like a brand. So
Yeah.
isn't
Very
that less
light.
light? Yeah, this is
Very
80
light.
proof, right?
80 proof. The reason we got into the months, how many months David had been born and such, was that this is age 26 months. So 2 years, at least 26 months.
Okay, 2 years and 2 months.
Yeah. Can you hear my 64-month-old son running around?
I can hear him.
Super light on the nose.
Okay.
It is it's making my mouth water. Yeah, obviously with the young bourbon, you're not going to get much oak or you get much of the barrel on it. A little vanilla. He's mad. All right, let's try it. This is Penelope Bourbon, straight out of New Jersey. Ooh, brother. I'm going right back in on that one.
It's good. I like the bottle of this, Gary. So it just has a P, and then it has kind of the like the flowers in the back. It reminds me more of a wine bottle.
That's what my wife thought. She thought it was a wine.
Yeah, than a bourbon. And I say this at the potential to sound not sexist, but this seems like a bourbon that might be marketed toward women. They don't come out and say that
It's named after a woman.
after yes, a small female child. I mean, but she is a woman. But yeah, this seems like I think not that men can't drink it, but I think a lot of the
Oh,
marketing.
listen, this is quality. The
Yeah.
more I hear my son throw a fit right now,
The more you want to drink.
more I want to drink it.
But it does seem like it is just, hey, here's a bourbon for that women can also drink as well as men, right? Just based on the marketing, based on the name, on their website, it's very bright and colorful. And like I said, it looks like a wine bottle. Not saying that, yeah, men can't drink it, but I thought that was interesting. Like this is one of the few that I've seen that seem to be more along that line, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and they've got when you look at their other bottles, of course, this one's like the light. There's a blue one. Then
yeah,
there's like the gold. There's a
they have a
toasted.
black
I would
one.
love to try the toasted. Wonder what
They have a
proof it
black one
is.
that's private select.
Yeah. So
Architect. I like that. Architect. That sounds cool.
but this is the only
French
one I
oak series.
saw.
Barrel strength.
Yeah. If you feel so inclined, we don't ask for much, but if you would follow us on YouTube,
Yes.
I'm sorry,
Subscribe.
subscribe to us on YouTube.
We got to
like
get
the content.
Yeah. Like I said, I
We'll
talked about my little
we're trying to
brother.
roll them numbers up. We're going to be putting out some YouTube shorts. You can find the full VOD of this video on demand. Do you know that's what that meant?
Yeah,
David?
VOD.
The VOD.
Yeah.
So I mean, we didn't tell anybody we were doing this, as we record live, and maybe that's what we need to get better at. But that's for me drinking this bourbon and telling you how good it is. This is a 4.5 out of 5.
Oh wow, that's one of the higher grades you've given out.
This is
4.5 barrels.
Easy drinking.
Now, is that
Easy.
one that you think you will hey, when I'm this weekend
When I want to get drunk? Yeah, this is something
Yeah,
I would
back to
take
that
to
one.
get everybody drunk.
because it's easy to drink.
It's easy to drink.
It's good.
Like, and I didn't even give you a good description of what it tastes like. So you know what that means.
Yeah.
Gotta have another drink.
Okay.
Again, light on the nose, which
All right.
as 80 proof, it shouldn't blister you. Again, hints of vanilla, but not. I mean, mostly corn, because
Yeah.
it is mostly corn.
Right. 75% corn.
There's no Kentucky hug at all.
Hmm.
It's a little leathery. And I say that not as it tastes like leather, but it leaves a little coating. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like there's a little pretty good. I can't complain. This is worth every penny, and that bottle will probably not make it through the end of the Eagles game. That's what I'll be taking with me. But here's the fucking predicament I'm in, David. If I can talk candidly to you,
you can.
Charlie's getting her tonsils taken out Thursday.
Okay.
And I don't know that she'll be healed up. They say the older you are, the harder it is to recover.
That's why I got mine out when I was 6 months old.
Bitch, you did not. But I'm like, listen, if I can pass her off to a grandparent or something like that, just to watch her for a couple
She'll
hours.
be good by Sunday.
Because here's what I found out too. Not to get too personal, but this is our show. We do what we want. That should be our tagline. ChatGPT didn't add that in there, but
you can add it. Yeah.
Now that I've been running and exercising a little harder, I've been more hungry, right? That's just the way it goes, right?
Yeah, you definitely will get hungry.
You know, and there's a certain level of boredom when it comes to running. Like, also my nipples hurt. Like, what do you do for your nipples?
I use like little nipple pasties.
You put them on, or do you put like a cream on?
No, I put it's like a little Band-Aid.
Okay. I need to do that because it didn't really bother me the first.
Or you can wear a sports bra like my wife does.
I probably need one, to be honest. Listen, non-scale victory, right? And if you followed along this podcast long enough, you know I had weight loss surgery. I'm down over 100 pounds. I fit into an extra large shirt.
Nice.
Holla at your boy. We in the same size, David.
I'm not extra large.
I don't know that you're an extra large.
I'm like between medium and large. I just got my shoulders are broad. If my shoulders weren't so broad, I could fit a medium easy. I do too many shoulder presses.
A medium?
Yeah.
What size hat do you wear?
7 1/4, I think. I had a big head.
See, I'm a 7
That's the same size I wore when I was a baby.
I was. I'm not gonna lie, bro. Then another non-scale.
I think I'm a 7 1/4. I only have like one fitted hat.
Is this pour, which is probably a 2.5 times pour, got me buzzing.
Yeah.
Like it's that quick, bro. Fuck. It's that
I think
quick.
it's time for me to start buzzing.
Let's fucking chug, bro. Give the people what they want. You want to talk? We can stay on Facebook. I don't want to go up and see my kids.
Yeah.
They seem to be calmed down.
Yeah.
Like before, David, we were planning the podcast today, and when he tells me like I can be ready in 5 minutes, I'm trying to figure out some layouts and some backgrounds, to spruce things up. And now I'm drunk, and I don't know what I'm gonna do.
You're not gonna do any of that.
I ain't gonna do that. I probably ain't just gonna sit here. Maybe watch YouTube. Who's to say? Anyway,
just pretend that we did a 4-hour podcast. Go up there later. Anyway, beer this week, Gary. So thank you so much to Rivalry Brews for sticking with us.
Rivalry Brews
through dry January. You can use our code BeersBeards10 to get 10% off your entire order of mixed 6-pack, 12-pack, 13-pack, how many ever you want. They'll send it right to your door. They got fresh beers up on the website. Yeah, whatever you want. They got some fresh beers up on the website, Gary, I saw today, and I'm like, I might need to get another box. They got all the good stuff. But today I'm drinking a beer from a brewery in the Cincinnati area, and I thought after dry January, I had to come back with my favorite style of beer that I bought in January and said, okay, I need to get it. I've never had this beer before. It's from Grainworks Brewing Company. It is called Luke, I Am Your Lager. It is an Imperial Black Lager, aka schwarzbier. I don't know if you see the theme, Gary, the Star Wars theme. But yeah, schwarzbier. And as soon as I opened it, cracked it open. And of course, it's dark, nice and dark color. Got my Ohio Pint Day pint glass. Very roasty. A little bit of chocolate notes on it. This is only like 5.7% alcohol too, so I'm gonna give it a taste. Oh yeah, that's why this is my favorite style. It's
Do it
so
like
it's like
you guys say
dark
that like the
and roasty, but still like smooth and crisp. It's that
you gotta do it like the
perfect
Kool-Aid
balance.
Man. Oh
Oh yeah. And then it says black as space, but surprisingly light on the palate, clean and smooth with a touch of chocolate given to the dark side.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm doing, giving into the dark side, Gary.
Luke, I am your lager.
Yes. This is now a Star Wars.
You've never even
question
seen Star
podcast.
Wars.
I've seen parts of it. I made the mistake of watching parts of the older ones, and they suck.
Yeah?
So I'm not watching 6. How many? Well, now there's like
When you say
37
the
of
older
them.
ones, what
The
are the older
episodes
ones?
4, 5, and the originals, the ones that came out
Those
first.
are the best.
The Revenge of the Phantom Menace. I don't know whichever one number. I don't know. Anyway, the ones that didn't come out in the 2000s, the old ones, really old,
Okay.
with Harrison Ford and Princess Leia.
Well, he's in the new ones too, and she's in
Oh.
the new ones too, so
Not Phantom Menace and
not episodes 1 through 3.
Yeah, 4, 5, and 6. They just seem bad. Anyway,
let's dig into this. I want to peel this back from the surface. I feel like Return of the Jedi is the pinnacle of Star Wars movies.
which one is that? 4,
It's
5,
6.
6.
6.
Okay, I'll watch that one.
Fucker, listen to me. I said 6 like 3 times.
Okay, 6. I'll watch that one first.
You don't have to watch it first. I mean, you need to watch the other 2 to see why it's
I already know the story.
What's the story?
He marries his sister or kisses his sister, and
He
his
does
dad
kiss
turns
his
out
sister.
to be his dad.
He doesn't know it's his
Han
sister,
Solo, or
And
his dad's Anakin Skywalker, but he is Luke Skywalker, and then
right, Anakin is his father.
Yeah, and
The
Anakin
story's great.
is Darth Vader.
Yeah. Have you watched The Mandalorian?
No, I haven't watched any of that.
What is wrong with you?
But then I don't
You can't
understand
even...
who in episode 1 who is Darth Maul. Like
Darth Maul is
just a
Sith apprentice.
Oh, he's an apprentice.
Yeah.
Okay, so you gotta that's like level 1. You get through him. That's easy. Boom.
So in canon, in the story of the Jedi, the dark side and the Jedi, the dark side, there's only 2. There can only be 2 Sith. So you had Palpatine, who is later becomes the Emperor.
Okay.
The ultimate bad guy. In episode 1,
so he's like Bowser.
His apprentice is Darth Maul. Now, Darth Maul comes from a line of Mauls. They're like smugglers, bad guy.
Good Mauls,
you got to go watch. You got to go watch.
We're
Han Solo. You got to watch Solo, the standalone movie, to understand Anyway, yeah, he gets cut in half.
Is there a ride? Is there a ride for it at Disney that I can just ride and it tells me
Rise of the Resistance and Smuggler's Run would be the 2 at Disney. That's at Hollywood Studios. That's where I'm going this year.
Takes you through the whole whole kit and caboodle.
Kinda. I mean, you probably got to know what's going on to enjoy those rides, but
okay,
who's to say?
Well, this weekend, Gary, also we talked about all the Super Bowl advertising and the latest beer that's getting a rebrand and is also going to be launched at the Super Bowl is our good friends Samuel Adams Boston Lager.
Sammy.
So I think I've said this and I'm kind of sticking with it, that this is like the midlife crisis of craft beer. where
When you say
everyone's like,
midlife crisis, how do you?
like craft beer is not doing so well in terms of sales. Is down
Okay.
like between 8 and 10%, depending on who you listen to. And a lot of these iconic brands that have been around forever are like, well, people aren't buying us anymore because they always want what's fresh and new. So we're going to be fresh and new. We talked about New Belgium, Fat Tire getting rebranded. We
Right.
talked about Rogue came out with line extensions of their Dead Guy, and probably the number 2 or 3 best-selling craft beer is Boston Lager. Been around since the 80s. And so they announced on January 30th that they're remastering the iconic Samuel Adams Boston Lager, a beer that is rightly credited with helping foster the American craft beer revolution. And according to Boston Beer, this beer's revamp is more about the brewing process rather than a pronounced recipe change.
Okay.
Samuel Adams Remastered Boston Lager still uses founder and brewer Jim Koch's great-grandfather's mid-19th century original recipe, but they've added a process to reduce filtration using a traditional German practice of biological acidification, resulting in a brighter, easier drinking beer. So yeah. Anyway, but they've got a Super Bowl commercial coming out with Boston legend Kevin Durant, or not Kevin Garnett, and also your cousin from Boston.
Who's my cousin from Boston?
It's like their character that they created. He's like a guy from their commercials. Beloved comedian Lenny Clark.
Lenny Clark, good comedian. Good comedian.
Is he beloved on the comedian scene?
I would think so. I mean, who's to say?
So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I feel like it's the midlife crisis of craft beer, and a beer that's local to me, but it's in your state. Braxton Brewing Company, Gary, you know Braxton.
Yeah, that's my cousin.
Braxton Thomas is your cousin. But yeah, so in Kentucky, Braxton has decided to spin off their most popular beer, called Garage Beer, into a new company to spur the expansion of that brand. It's currently the number one selling craft lager brand in Ohio, Kentucky, and Tennessee, and been the top selling beer for Braxton since they launched it as a cost friendly option for those who are looking for beer flavored beer. They partnered with a CPG marketer named Andrew Sauer, who will be the president of Garage Beer Co. So it's interesting that they're still going to brew the beer, but they spun off the brand, the beer, into its own thing. Interesting move to see like how they expand this and where it goes.
Expansion's like the goal, right? That's where you want to be.
Yeah. And I think
If you're profitable, if you're ready to move on, like if you've outgrown, or the market necessitates that you go wherever.
Yeah. I think so. Two things. So one, this beer is like around $1 per can. It's like they're trying to position it as a craft version of that beer that you like buy a case of, throw it in the fridge, and you just have it. So your buddy comes over, hey, you want a beer? I got a garage beer. We can drink it in the garage. You don't have to drink it in the garage, but they're trying to position it as that cheap cheap option that you can just have, and it can be available in your beer. So I did see this interestingly on sale at Costco, a case, and it was actually less than $1 per can. But yeah, so Braxton is expanding garage beer. Yeah, I don't know where Gary is. He left. He closed out of his thing. So yeah, you get just me for a couple minutes until Gary tries to jump back in. Um, but yeah, so Super Bowl this weekend. I did want the other thing I was going to mention. One more story is we've talked a little bit about rum. Rum seems to be like the the trending spirit, I think, of 2023 thus far, and the largest uh, uh, largest brand alcoholic beverage company in the world, Diageo, announced in January that it agreed to acquire Don Papa Rum. They're paying 260 million euros, more than $280 million, with a potential to go up to 191 million more through 2028. Depending on Don Papa's performance. Launched in 2012 by entrepreneur Stephen Carroll, together with Andrew John Garcia. Don Papa is a super premium dark rum from the Philippines that's currently available in 30 countries. Carroll will remain involved with the brand and work with Diageo on growing Don Papa. Diageo already owns the spice rum Captain Morgan, in addition to brands such as Johnny Walker, Crown Royal, Bailey, Smirnoff, and Kettle One. News comes just weeks after Brown-Forman announced that it has acquired or completed its acquisition of Diplomatico rum, and Pernod Ricard said in October that it will significantly increase its minority stake in New York luxury wine and spirits company Sovereign Brands, producer of Caribbean Bumbu rum. So rum is I guess maybe the spirit of the year. We've seen bourbon being popular, vodka, and tequila really, I think, has been the last couple of years has been what's been popular. So, yeah, we'll see if rum continues to be the big spirit for this year. As we still wait for Gary to return here, but yeah, another story. We if you're into golf, this is kind of the time of year that I start to get into golf as we head into the Masters and things like that. Um, PGA Tour pro golfer Kevin Kisner inked a multi-year partnership with Grain and Barrel Spirits, and says I'll be proud to wear the Chicken Cock logo. So he's going to be sponsored by Chicken Cock whiskey brand. Under the agreement, Chicken Cock will support Kisner through all of his outdoor pursuits, whether it be during the golf season or hunting and fishing in the off season. Kisner's shirt sleeve will display the Chicken Cock whiskey logo throughout the PGA Tour schedule and at the Masters, U.S. Open, and PGA Championship. He first publicly wore his Chicken Cock branded shirt this past weekend at AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. He's currently ranked 31st in the world. Yeah. They've been Chicken Cock's been around since 1856, founded in Paris, Kentucky. One of the brands that's really been around for a really long time. But yeah, so Gary is having technical issues. So we're gonna go ahead and end this episode. Thank you so much to Rivalry Brews. I know Gary was enjoying his Penelope Bourbon. He enjoyed that. He gave it 4.5 bottles on his scale of 5. I really enjoyed my Luke I Am Your Lager from Grainworks. Make sure you check us out on Instagram, Beers Beards Podcast. You never know when you're going to get a chance to potentially earn some craft beer from River Brews yourself. And also, you will be able to follow us, see pictures of all of our beer, things like that. Follow us on Twitter. Check out our website, beersbeardspod.com. And thank you so much. We will be back next week. Beers and Beards.